The bells have just rang here at Gen Finesford to announce the beginning of an auction of 4 premium lots within this Gen Finesford development. Just before we've been up in a chopper to have a look at this site, and you really do see just how unique it is. I know that we're talking about price drops in Melbourne and Sydney, and yes, the property boom in Australia as a whole has probably burst now, but here in Geelong the story is quite different. We're seeing widespread development, a good 10-year lead time in our population growth and in our residential building growth. But right here we're seeing an opportunity that doesn't come around very often. We're sitting at the top end of the market and we're seeing that there's very strong buyer interest. So it's going to be an interesting time to see what happens in these auctions and an interesting time to think about what this means for the future of our city. So we're up here at the top of the hill above the Gen Finesford estate, and I'm here with Delina from RPM. Delina is here as part of this auction of 4 very special blocks today, Delina.
They most certainly are. The views are across the Moorabool River and the Barwon River and beautiful Queen's Park here in Geelong. So we're very excited, can't wait to get started.
So tell us, Delina, anyone who follows real estate market, even a little bit in the news, will hear lots of doom and gloom about the big slowdown in the market, this huge price crash that's happening in Melbourne.
Yeah.
What are you seeing down here?
We're not seeing that at all in Geelong. Actually, we're seeing the total opposite. Buyers are coming in, they're moving further and further away from the Melbourne and the CBD to get what they, want and to get the luxury of building their grand home. And what better place to do it than Gen Finesford? So they're definitely travelling out.
So where are we finding people who are coming here today? I'm sure people have come to have a look at the beautiful views, but I'm sure there's plenty of buyers in this mix as well. Where are they coming from?
There's actually a lot of mix. From the interest so far, we've had mix from overseas, we've had mix from, the other side of the city, so from the southeast and from the east. We've also had buyers coming in from General City and Richmond and so on. We've got potentials, a lot are locals, so a lot know this specific area and they have been hanging out and waiting for this area to come on the market.
We're here with Matt from ICD. Now, ICD are the developers behind this Gen Finesford development. Why Geelong? Because this is a very high spec development. What was it about this region that said, you know what, we can see a real opportunity here?
Yeah, all of our developments, we look for really premium locations, and Geelong in particular, we've seen the amount of infrastructure and planning that the government's really put into reshaping Geelong, moving it away from its historical manufacturing background, and it's really yielded great returns, increases in prices for people that are living here, and it's an amazing lifestyle. Like the community is fantastic.
Matt, while I've got you here and quickly before you head into the auction, can I just talk briefly about what you're seeing in the real estate market? You're obviously operating at the higher end of the market. What's happening?
It is an interesting market, and there's been a lot of external factors that have influenced and impacted the market. You've got the banking and government regulations, which have impacted, and it has resulted in a slowdown in various markets. In particular, I've seen sort of that $2 to $5 million market of existing stock significantly hurt. But when you come, and this is the interesting thing about Geelong, while the Melbourne market, and you've seen the clearance rates has been hit, you've seen there has been a slowdown in terms of growth. Geelong is the opposite. We're seeing Geelong continues to remain really robust, and we've seen a lot of volume sales and growth in values as well in our Finesford project.
Matt, thank you for talking for us this morning. I know you're excited to get in and see how this auction pans out, but I do appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing with your thoughts today. Thank you for the chopper ride up there this morning. It was great fun. Get in there and enjoy that auction.
It's a great view up there, isn't it?
It is absolutely magic.
Thanks, Davina. Cheers.
Thanks. While doom and gloom has dominated the real estate conversations in Melbourne and Sydney in recent times, here in Geelong the story has been quite different, with the median house price across the region climbing around 10% in 2018. Strong employment, big infrastructure spending, affordability when compared with Melbourne, and lifestyle are all driving factors behind the relative stability in the local market. And while we can expect prices to soften a bit in 2019, housing development and population growth across the region is expected to remain strong in the years ahead. And if the big turnout for the auction of the first hilltop blocks with their $1 million views in the Gen Finesford estate is anything to go by, there is plenty of interest from buyers and investors in what has become one of the country's most buoyant real estate markets.